Have you ever felt like this? Do you see a picture over here? Do you often find yourself in this kind of situation? And if yes, do you want to come out of it? What does this picture shows? You see a person who is not feeling very great. There are people who are pointing fingers, maybe say something which they want to put the blame on. So let us go further to understand what are we talking about and what is the issue in hand and how do we get out of it. So for today's presentation, let me share with you what is the roadmap that I'm going to follow. First of all, yes, as you correctly understood, we are going to talk about self-esteem. As you would have seen in the title of this video also, we're talking about self-esteem. Why do people have low self-esteem? And why do we need a high self-esteem? Why is it important to have that? And then we'll see what are the steps, what are those actions that you can take to develop high self-esteem. And finally, the conclusion. So this is in very brief, it's a very bigger topic, but I just try to touch upon this topic and give some action points which can help you in your life. Let's go ahead. So what is self-esteem? Basically, this is a very common term. We keep on hearing this day in and day out. And it is basically how you think and how you feel about yourself. What is your perception about yourself? What do you say to yourself? Your self talk. Sometimes whatever goes into your mind, that is determined by how you think about yourself. And how you think is determined by what do you believe about yourself. If you have a very low self esteem, when negative beliefs cripple you. If you have high self esteem, you will see yourself always being very positive, always being very confident. So what kind of things you keep on telling yourself? You may say that I can't do this. This is so difficult. I am not pretty. I am not enough. I am dark. I am not good enough for this. I'm not as smart as you, right? So there's so many things which keeps on going inside you. So these negative talks which keeps on going inside you, which makes you feel very less about yourself. So that is where this is called as low self-esteem. People who have this kind of negative self-talk about themselves, they are said to have less of confidence in themselves. They have low self-esteem. And people who talk positive about themselves always, they are very confident. Those are the people who have high self-esteem. So let's go further on this. So why do we need high self-esteem? Why do we require high self-esteem? Because if you have low self-esteem, it actually cripples you. It is something which just keeps on holding you back from living the life that you want. You may be wanting to go out in the world and show your worth, but your self-esteem keeps on telling you that you do not have that quality capability in you. You cannot do. Suppose you want to go out and pursue your career of your dreams, but your inside talk keeps on telling, no, you're not enough. Your circumstances are difficult. You cannot manage your work and your home together. It is those people who work outside, who have good careers, who reach certain levels in life. They are some other people. You cannot do it because you cannot speak well. You cannot face public, you cannot travel alone. There's so many things which keeps on coming to you and it holds you from living the life that you want for yourself. And therefore it prevents you from having those experiences that you want. So here I just try to list down some of the traits that are very popular or that are very much evident in the people who have high self-esteem and people who have low self-esteem. So people who have high self-esteem, they always talk about ideas. They will be talking about, something they want to do, some idea, something new they are wanting to come up with. When you talk to them, you also get very much charged. But people with lower self-esteem, they'll always talk about people. They'll keep gossiping about people. Somebody did something. Somebody, even if they're successful, they start becoming jealous of them. People with high self-esteem will always be very humble people. So you see a lot of successful people, they're very humble. Even though they have achieved the heights of success, they do not really, they're not very arrogant. But people with low self-esteem, they'll be, even though they will get success, they will be exhibiting that arrogance. They feel that if they are successful, they need to have that air around them. And that is what will push people away from them. People will have, with high self-esteem will always accept responsibility. So you know, see in a group, even in a group setting, even whether in your organization or suppose you're traveling also, and there's a group going, you're in a group setting, and whenever there is some activity to be done or whenever there is some initiative to be taken, there will be only one or two those people out of those 20 people there who would take the initiative to lead the group. So these people with high self-esteem, they have that much of confidence. They come out and they accept responsibility. While people with low self-esteem will always keep on blaming. They'll keep on finding people to blame for whatever is going wrong. People with high self-esteem will always be willing to learn. But on the other side, if you have low self-esteem, you say, "No, I know this. What is it? I know this." These are very basic things what are being taught. So they actually do not have that mind for learning. They feel they have already learned everything. And even basic things are there which they may know. But unless until you implement those, that cannot become actually a learning. So similarly, people with high self-esteem, they're always giving. Anytime you approach them for help, they'll be willing to give the time to you. They'll be willing to give you the effort to you. They'll be willing to help you. But people with low self-esteem will always see what can I take. If they have to go and meet somebody, they'll say, what is my benefit in that? If they do some work for somebody, what is my benefit? In teams, in your organizations, you see in teams there are always people who are always looking for what is in it for me. You always say, what is in it for me? Why should I do this work? Okay. Similarly, people with high self-esteem will always respect authority. And the other hand, people with low self-esteem will always have a rebellious mindset. Some of the very basic traits I've tried to outline over here. Now, what are the causes of low self-esteem? So there could be a lot of reasons why a person has a low self-esteem, why the person doesn't feel that he is good enough, why he doesn't feel confident. That could be mental or physical. So it could be something concerning their physical body or something concerning as to whatever is going on in the mind, something which is something in the past that would have happened, which is actually sitting in the mind and impacting their esteem. So some people, when we say physical, people say, I'm very short-heighted, I'm very dark, I'm very thin, or I'm very fat. Even the physical characteristics become the reason for person to have low self-esteem. Similarly, for the mental health, something gets into the mind and they start thinking in that way, and that lowers the self-esteem. If people are in isolation or they're living alone, they experience low self-esteem. They always feel because they're not worthy enough, so they don't have people around them. Sometimes because of the pressure of the family or the work or the peer, they start feeling low self-esteem because they start comparing themselves to seeing the pressure of achieving certain goals in life, pressure of achieving goals in life through from the family. That see your friend has come first in the class. What are you doing? He has got a job in an MNC, but you have not landed the job in the campus. So these kind of comparisons, these kind of pressure from the family, this actually lowers the self-esteem of the person. Or if you have been neglected by your family, it is not be people. Some children do not get time from their parents, or they do not get that love in the family. They feel very much rejected, and they feel there is something wrong in them, because of which they're not getting what they should get. So either it could be in the family or in the school where they're going, or if people are not very accepting in the friend circle, then also they feel very less about themselves. Or sometimes it's a very bad thing that sometimes some people have been subjected to abuse. Either it could be in childhood or some kind of emotional abuse. Lot of females have been going through these kind of abuse even after marriage, physical, emotional. So any kind of abuse, any kind of exploitation that somebody has gone through, so they start blaming themselves for that, and that lowers the self-esteem. So this is a very big issue actually, and which is not really recognized as issue because many times they feel that with time things will be okay. जैसे जैसे time pass होगा things will be okay, and that is why today you see a lot of marriages, uh, women would continue even though there would be certain level of emotional exploitation going on, physical exploitation going on. When there is no, when they're not able to match the expectations of the others, it is so difficult. Expectations are something which is always moving. It is not that if you want that today I come and meet you, give you my 15 minutes, tomorrow you'll have some more expectations from me. Today I help you with some work, tomorrow you'll expect more. So meeting expectation is something which is a never ending thing. And when, for some people, if they're not able to meet expectation of somebody in the family, maybe either their parents or their spouse, they start feeling less about themselves. Or if somebody is not financially stable, some people who are coming from underprivileged or financially not stable background, economically they are challenged, or economically the weaker section, or sometimes if they have gone through the economic crisis in their family, they start feeling very less about themselves. They would not have the confidence to go, and even though they would be studying in the same college, but they would not be having that confidence to share the desk or share the table in the canteen with the people who are financially well off, because they feel less about themselves, because they're trying to measure people based on the economic background. And similarly, family, cultural background, the community, environment, your location, from where you come, a lot of these factors somehow impact you because they give you certain experiences which makes you feel less about yourself, or because of those experiences, you start thinking less about yourself. So these are some of the reasons why people would have low self-esteem. There could be a number of reasons. So now once we know, what is self-esteem, why do we need to have a high self-esteem? Now, what is the action point? What should you do to increase self-esteem? So you understand, maybe you're able to relate with some of the points that I talked to you, but now how do you increase the self-esteem? So I'll give you some pointers. There's no proper order of this. There are maybe number of action points, 10, 11 action points over here. You need to take up those action points which resonates better with you, and do that very religiously. First thing is accepting yourself as you are, because as I said, what is self-esteem is what the way you think and feel about yourself. So सबसे पहले accept who you are, the way you are. Now your physical characteristics does not matter whether you're tall, whether you're short, whether you're dark, whether you're fair, whether you're fat, whether you're thin, whether you're how you look, whether you're not beautiful, whether you're beautiful. So whatever however the God has made you, those physical characteristics given by God. So God has made you that way because you are unique. There's no person who is like you. So you should celebrate your uniqueness instead of trying to compare, that oh my hair, how is my hair, how is her hair, she has such a fair skin, I don't have this. She has a great body, which I don't have, so base. So instead of comparing, try to celebrate that uniqueness. Give yourself a different story. Try to think how you can use that uniqueness to your advantage. Right? So first of all, accept yourself. I am good the way I am. This is important. I am good the way I am. I love myself. This is what you need to keep telling yourself. Then, so what is the action you can do? First of all, and then once you accept yourself, stop comparing yourself with anybody, because every person is different. You would have some qualities which the other person wouldn't have. So make the list down those areas where you have been comparing yourself to somebody else. So that somebody else even could be in your family. Sometimes there is comparison between siblings, between children. One child is doing so well in studies, the other one is not doing. Other one may have interest in sports or maybe in something in art. So there is difference of ability, difference of interest which every person would have. So you cannot compare them. So make the list of areas where you are comparing yourself to somebody else and then stop comparing. Consciously stop doing that. Unconsciously, if you're trying to do that, consciously make an effort not to do this comparison from henceforth. And you will see the difference. Stop criticizing yourself. This is so important. We always, because if you have low self esteem, you will always criticize yourself for something which you are not even responsible, because criticism will not change anything. It will make you only feel bad about your own self. It will make you feel more negative about yourself. It will break you somewhere from within, right? Suppose you have tried your best, you have given a very good presentation to the client, but you did not, but your team did not get the order or did not get the deal. So now you start blaming yourself. Maybe something happened in my presentation. No, if it is meant to be, it is, so it is. You have done your best, right? Similarly, suppose you have, planned an event at home. You planned a birthday party of a child. You have done your best, in terms of best dishes, the preparation, the invitation, arrangements, everything you have tried to do the best, taking special effort and time. But then, even then, if some people are not happy, somebody is not liking it, or something goes wrong, maybe the cake did not reach on time, or something went wrong, the power went off, or something happened. So do not blame yourself for the experience which people would have. Maybe they did not have good experience because of some fight that happened, something, whatever it could be, some conflict that happened between two people. So do not blame yourself, do not criticize yourself. So when you have not to criticize, it means you have to do the opposite. You have to feel good about yourself. You have to think and feel good about yourself. Because we always keep on expecting, somebody else will make us feel good. Somebody else should tell me, oh, yeah, you're doing a great job. My manager should come and tell me that you're doing a fabulous job. I'm so happy with you. Why? You should have that in you, that yes, I am doing my best. So I am doing whatever is possible and I am giving my 100%. So you have to first approve of yourself, and then only you will see the positivity in you. So you feel good about yourself and think feel good about yourselves. Don't expect others to make you feel good, because if that is like, giving your remote control in somebody else's hand and expecting that person uh, will be telling you those things that you want to hear, right? Like typically it happens, when you post something on social media, we make videos, we are waiting for people to like those posts, like the photograph that we post. And that if that it is good, good to be happy if you see so many likes in your post, but that should not determine your level of happiness, or that should not determine how you feel about yourself. Okay, next. Don't focus too much on things that haven't yet happened. So what happens, we all have so many aspirations, related to your career, related to your money you want, the finances, your relationships in life you want, some amount of property that you want to accumulate. So what happens, you have so many plans, so many things you want in your life, and you set goals, but you're not able to achieve some of the goals because of number of reasons. Okay, or because of certain circumstances. And you feel that, by the age of 30 I should have a house, I should have a car, I should be in certain level of position, I should be a manager, senior manager, whatever you decide, at this age I should be this much. But if you're not able to achieve that, you start feeling there is something less in you, something which you're not done, because of which you're not getting that, which your other colleagues have got. So that's not the right approach, because then that again makes you feel less, that again makes you feel that something is lacking, you're not capable. So change your focus. Don't focus on things that are still to happen, because you still have time. Like in girls, it said that they should get married at the right time. So if they're not able to get married, if they're not able to get a good life partner, by a certain age, they start feeling that, oh, they are losing out on time. And then they start feeling bad about it. The parents start pressurizing, they start feeling bad about this. So, but everything has their own time, there would be, maybe it is not the right time for certain things to arrive in your life. Maybe it's not the right time that you have those relationships. Maybe there's a right time when it will come, the things will happen. Okay. So, what is the action that you have to do? So, maybe pause this video right now, take 5 minutes, and reflect on your blessings. What all do you have in your life? Because when you're only seeing what all I have not got till now, I need to have a house, I need to have a good relationship, I need to have this, I need to have this much of finance in my account, and this much of money in my bank account, so that I feel financially free. So leave aside all those. What should happen? Now reflect, write down those 5 things which you think are blessing for you today. Reflect on those. You being well today, in a good health, is that a blessing for you? You being safe with your family at home, is it a blessing? You having a job right now which is earning you handsome money, is that a blessing? So think about those blessings for yourself. Okay. The next one. Be grateful. Gratefulness is said to be supreme feeling. It's a supreme feeling which helps you to identify what you have in life and be thankful for that. It is said to be the greatest feeling, greatest emotion. And it is said, whatever things you are grateful for and you will focus on them, those things will come into your life more. If you keep focusing on, what is not there in your life, that will come more in your life. You will keep focusing, oh, I'm not having that much money, I'm not well off. I'm always having, difficulty with managing my money. I'm not having enough money. So you'll always find yourself, I'm having so much of debt. So you'll always keep on finding yourself in debts. So focus on what you have today. Be grateful for that. Be thankful for things you have. Don't be ungrateful and take it for granted. Like in today's situation in the pandemic, be thankful to God that today you have a job. You have family with whom you are there, which many people are not having. What you're taking for granted, other people would do anything to have. There are so many people out there who would have lost their job or who are still looking for job after they're completing their studies. There's so many people who've lost some family member. So be grateful for whatever you have. Do not take it for granted. So what's the action that you need to do? List down at least 7 things that you're grateful for. So either you can say this or you can write down. It's best you can write down. I am grateful for. I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for a loving family. I'm grateful that I have a house. I have food on the table. I'm grateful for this loving relationship that I have with my child, with my spouse. Write those things. You'll see how writing them down and focusing on them will bring those more into your life, and you'll be really so happy about that. That will really increase your self-esteem, because now you're not looking at the minus, you're looking at the plus, right? So do this, and this gratefulness exercise has to be done every day religiously. It is not that you do it now and then forget. It has to be done every day, every single day. And this is a very powerful practice. All successful people have this as a practice every day in the morning and every day before going to sleep. This is a ritual for them. I myself have been practicing this ritual, and I find this so much uplifting, so much, uplifting emotionally every day. Even if things are not gone well in the day, but because of this kind of exercise, you still feel, yes, God, I have so many things, and thank you so much. So this is very, very powerful exercise. Just do this. Even if you're not doing anything else, just do this exercise. Don't live to please others. This is so important. We always want to please others. We always want to please others because we want them to listen good things about us. Want we want our parents. We want to please our parents. We want to please our spouse. We want to please our boss. We want to please our friends. We want to please even the strangers sometimes, because then we were wanting something in return. We want them to know that how good I am. But no matter how hard you'll try, you will not be able to please everybody. So you would have experienced this, especially in family. You will see that, whatever you do, how much ever you do, there will be times you will say कि कितना भी कर लो कम ही पड़ता है. And that's the reason that you keep on pleasing them leads to conflicts many times, because when you are pleasing them, when you're doing things to please, you're somewhere not doing things which you wanted to do. So you should do those things which are fulfilling for you, not to please your parents or friends. Like like you see, if as a student you have to decide, what subject to study, what is your interest, you will go by what your parents want you to do, right? But later on, if you flunk in the class, if you're not able to perform, you don't like the subject, but you're doing because your parents want you to do. You're becoming a doctor because they want you to become a doctor, but your heart is not into that. So you're not living up to what is your potential, and that is again reducing your self-esteem. So do not live to please others. Think what is that you want. Please yourself first before you please others. So what is the action for you here? So these are the actions. Some of the actions I've told you should do now. Now means you can pause the video and do this. Because the moment you do this, you will start seeing the shift. You start seeing the change, because it's a matter of perception. Many times, as I said, it's how you feel about yourself. It's a matter of perception. In what ways have you been living to please others? So what are those situations where you have done things to please others? So maybe try to listen, try to recall those things, or try to see, even last 2 days, last 3 days, what are those things you have done which were to only to please others, not for yourself? How are you going to change that from now on? So once you've identified what is that you did to please somebody, how is it you are going to change your approach? What should be your approach henceforth? Okay, so it's very important. Do this exercise. You can pause this video and do this exercise. At least reflect. You'll find if you have actually been doing it, you'll actually be able to write that. If you have not been doing it, it's great. Maybe you are the person who is, this is not applicable to you. Maybe you're doing only when you like to do certain things, right? Great. Give yourself a pat. It means appreciate yourself. Like we said, why do we wait for others to appreciate us? Why cannot we appreciate ourselves? Because when you praise yourself, you are building yourself inside. It is your inner soul which is telling you, yes, you are good, you're doing well. Pat yourself how well you are doing with every little thing. Give appreciation to yourself, praise yourself. Yeah, even in difficult situations, how you're managing everybody at home, how you're managing your work, how you're managing your children, how well you're doing those things. Even sometimes you're not in a good physical condition. Even then, you stretch yourself to do things for others. So praise yourself for that. That I did a wonderful job today. Praise yourself every day. Nothing gives more happiness. So it is said, it is research has proved this. Nothing will give you more happiness. Neither going for a shopping, neither getting a promotion, with the praise that you get from others, or praise that you do for yourself, that will give you more happiness in all the things. But what happens when somebody is praising herself? We say कि वो show off कर रही, the person is so arrogant. Somebody says that I am a born leader, or yeah, I'm a born communicator, I speak so well, people are impressed with my speech. So we will say, oh, this person is showing off so much, she's so arrogant, she talks like this. But I think so self praise has to be everybody's agenda, because that will lift you, you lift yourself inside, from inside. And self praise without agenda means whenever you're praising somebody or somebody's praising you, you'll see they have some hidden agenda why they would be praising you. They want some favor from you most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. But when you're doing self praises without agenda, you do not have an agenda there. So do more of this, practice more of this. Every some small achievement you do, every small work that you've done well, every good presentations you have given, and if you have helped somebody, you have been kind to somebody, anything which you feel, yes, should receive praise. Even if you don't receive, do not bother, just praise yourself for that. So how do you do that? So this is called as mirror exercise. So how do you praise yourself? This is like you stand in front of your mirror, look straight into the eyes, talk to yourself. Today you are awesome, I love you, today you have done a great job, you have helped this person, it is so nice of you, I'm so proud of you, you are very confident, you're a born leader, you are the best, you are the best. So tell yourself that. So this is the way you will praise yourself. So do this mirror exercise every morning. Every morning doing this gives tremendous boost to your confidence. It uplifts you so much. And when you start praising yourself, when you start loving yourself, you see that you're able to extend this to people around you. Because unless until you love yourself, unless until you praise yourself, you cannot expect people around you are doing that for you. This is also a very great exercise, mirror technique. It's a proven method to boost your self confidence if you do it continuously for 40 days. Use the power of your mind. It said everything happens twice. Anything that you create, first you create in your mind, you think about it, and then you make it a reality. So if you think in your mind that that I cannot speak in front of so many people, you putting that in your mind. So actually you're not able to do that. If you think in your mind your interview is not going well, in reality the same thing will happen. If you see in your mind that people are not accepting you, they're not including in their group, they're not inclusive, you will see that happening in reality. So use your mind to think that what you want actually to be a reality. So if you want the reality that you are speaking on from the stage and everybody is praising you and there's loud so much of applause from the audience and a jam-packed auditorium and you are doing so well and so happy, so visualize that entire thing. So it should happen in your mind first, then becomes a reality. So think and feel good about yourself, change your thought about yourself. It is okay, not everybody would be having very high self-esteem maybe from the childhood. If you didn't have high self-esteem, doesn't matter, it is not late that you can't cultivate. And here we're talking about those steps to increase your self-esteem, so you can still do that. Because now you're aware, many times we're not even aware of this fact. Now when you're aware of this fact, why you have low self-esteem and how it is hampering your growth and what you can do to increase your self-esteem, you can change your thought. It is always with you. So change your thought from what you want rather than what you don't want. Okay. So if you want somebody to speak kindly to you or speak gently to you, So you see that, think about that. Not that, don't focus that no, that person should not speak rudely to me, or that person should help me. Think about that. The person should be helpful to you. Person should cooperate with you. Your team people should cooperate with you. So change your thought that yes, they will do that. You deserve this. Reach out to people. So it is also said that people who feel less about themselves because of their own inner talk, because of that self talk which is pulling them down always, they are not able to reach out to people. They will be confined in themselves. So for them, it is said it's best that you should go out and meet people. You will have hesitation to meet people, but that is your challenge. You should challenge yourself. This is your limiting belief that people may not want to meet you or interact with you, or they may not help you if you want, or they may make fun of you if you appear to be vulnerable. So talk to people, make new friends. Maybe the out of those 10 people that you approach, maybe only those two would be there who would be wanting to extend that helping hand to you, or wanting to connect with you. But that's okay. At least you should try. Ask for help when you need it. So only when you ask for help, you will get that. You cannot expect to get help without asking. Like even if you have a child at home, do you give any toy to the child without his asking? He should ask for it, right? He says, "Ki, Mummy, I want this toy. I want this toy. I want this train. I want this doll." Only then you go and purchase it for her or him. So you should ask for help. So reach out to people. Don't limit yourself. Challenge this. If this is a limiting belief, challenge yourself and do it. So you have to take charge of things for yourself. Take charge of your life. Take charge of making yourself feel good. Take charge of boosting your confidence, and take charge of increasing your self-esteem. And this is so important. Pamper yourself. Groom yourself. Do some exercise or walk, run, jog. Why you should do this? Because where you are whenever your self-esteem is low because of any of your physical things, because if you feel that your body is not that toned, or you're not looking great, or either you're obese or whatever, you're thin, whatever it is, because of physical condition, if you feel less, then you should go out and do something about it. You cannot sit and sulk saying, "Oh, I'm so fat, I'm not looking good." No, you have to work on it. So either go exercise, join gym, run, do whatever, yoga, whatever you think can help you. Wear new clothes you like. It's so important to make yourself feel good. You'll see when you wear new clothes, when you're going out, you wear new clothes and you feel so good. You take pictures, you post that on social media. So why not do that even when you're at home? It is the clothes are meant for you to wear and feel good. If that makes you feel good, do that. Because that's so important, which we will miss out. These small things. Eat the food you like. You will, when a guest is coming to your house, you'll so many dishes you will make to please the guest. Yeah, you want to please somebody else, but maybe you'll not make that for yourself. From now onwards, see what are your favorite things. Make a list of your favorite things. Try doing that every week. Maybe one favorite thing you should try to do. And if it's a small thing, maybe every day. If you like to listen to music, spend time listening to music, having your own cup of tea, having this, going to a spa, get pampering yourself. Whatever gives you happiness, do that for yourself. Going on a trip, going and meeting a friend, taking some time off from work. You just pamper yourself. Pampering yourself makes you feel good about yourself. It's all about feeling good from the inside, and that is what you will radiate outside. Now let go. This is so important. You know, why self-esteem is also low, because sometimes there could be some things you would have done in life, some mistake would have happened, you would have hurt somebody, because of which you keep on blaming yourself. So that's okay. There's some people who carry on that hurt for such a long time. It's years that passes, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. And that's not only in your with your friends, it is even in your relationships, even in your own family. You carry on for so long, that kind of guilt, that blaming each other, don't talk to each other for years, and there's so much of guilt and shame and regret later on. So forgive and let it go. Forgive the others, forgive yourself. The moment you forgive, you actually release a lot of a load from your heart. बहुत सारा बोझ कम हो जाता है. So release that. Once you release it, you'll feel very light. Even if there's something you have made a mistake, you are responsible. So see how you can make up for that. If there's something which you can do, do. If you cannot do something about that, it cannot be undone. Just mm, forgive yourself. Release those negative emotions. Talk to somebody. If you need somebody to talk to somebody you can trust. Maybe if you need a counselor, go for a counselor. If you need a coach, go to a coach. Talk it out, get it out of your system. Or if you're feeling bad about it, cry it out. Finish it off. It should not keep on holding you down every time because something which you did 10 years back, 15 years back, 5 years back, that is still holding you down and you're not able to move ahead in life. Or maybe some experience, some bad experience that has happened because of which your self esteem has gone down so much. That is holding you. So leave that, just release it and let it go. Free yourself from that. So when we're talking about all these things, all this is around the central theme of loving yourself. So love yourself unconditionally. Like your child, you will always love your child unconditionally. There's no conditions attached, that you will do this, then only I'll love you. No. You love the child in any condition, whether he's successful, not successful, whether he's done something, not done, whether he's been rude to you, even sometimes child shouts back, then also still love the child. You don't start hating them. So unconditional love that you would have for any loved one, similarly start doing that for yourself. Love yourself first. Accept yourself. Be master of your life. Take charge of your life. Do not be dependent on somebody else to praise you, somebody else to love you. First, love yourself, make yourself lovable. Then you can expect people around you to love you. So this is a very, very important and a very big thing. Basically, it's summation of a lot of things that we have talked about. And many times it's very much underrated. So sometimes people do not know how to love. So whatever I said in the previous slides about pampering yourself, praising yourself, doing the mirror exercise, accepting yourself, those are all the ways that you start loving yourself. Those are the ways. How you would express love for somebody else, express that love for yourself now. Start doing that for yourself. Start making special things for yourself. Start giving special treatment to yourself. So when you start respecting yourself, when you start loving yourself, you will see that automatically people around you will start doing that for you, and you'll be amazed at that result. So finally change your story. So from that person who is very depressed, down, not confident, feeling bad, to this person who is so confident, happy, charged up, and motivated. So change your story from I can't do it to I can do it. So be that person who takes charge of life, takes action. Some of the actions I've already given you. There are other actions which you can pursue. So finally, the pledge. I told you initially, it is a belief that makes you think about yourself how you think. If you start feeling I'm not enough, then those low self-esteem and those characteristics come in front of you. You start feeling that I'm less, I'm not capable, I cannot do, I'm not smart, I'm dumb. So leave that belief. From I am not enough to change the belief to I am enough. I am enough. I have those lot of qualities. Maybe I am not a good communicator like the other person, but I have something else. Maybe I am very creative. Maybe I am an initiative taker. Maybe I don't talk much, but I am a very good problem solver. I organize things well. I can plan things very well. So I have those five things which that other person doesn't have. So saying I am enough is the belief with which you have to go forward. And take this pledge today. Tell this to yourself every day. Today I'm going to make a difference in my life and in the life of others. So I am capable to make difference in my life as well as life of others. Negative thoughts, negative people have no effect on me. So be away from negative people because those negative people and their thoughts brings you down. I am the champion. I am the best. I love and accept myself just as I am. I love and accept myself just as I am. So this is a pledge. This is, you can say, a kind of affirmation which you can say yourself every day. Basically, write it down somewhere, put it in a wall where you can see it, and read this to yourself every day. Read this to yourself every day. Do the mirror exercise every day. Do gratitude every day. It's so powerful. These are very basic but very powerful practices that will actually uplift you so much and bring so much of result in your work life, in your professional and personal life. So this self-esteem is so important for you to actually move ahead in life, succeed in life. So I'm a life coach. In the description below, I've given about my introduction. I'm a life coach and I help people with building confidence, raising self-esteem, gaining identity because I work with women to help them to get back to their career so that they can gain their identity, income and independence. And if you want to take charge of your life, you should take action now. You can write to me. There's in the description box, I have left my email. You can write to me. You can take help from me, take guidance from me. But it's time now that you should take action if you feel there's something stopping you. If you face any of these issues that we talked about, you should take action. Thank you so much for listening.